What is up? It's your boy John, Street Live TV Promo, so tell like it is. Welcome back to the episode of Train With Me. Today, guys, we're at Fitopia Fitness Center here in Richmond, BC. I'm here with my longtime competitor and friend, classic physique national champion, Taylor Camo. We're doing hamstrings today. And the difference between today and other days is we got a guy that's 6 foot something and is too damn tall. I know there's a lot of guys out there that have issues finding movements to do that actually work well with their body, being so tall, being in machines that don't really complement your physique. So today, guys, we're gonna pick out a few exercises that are gonna help hit your hamstrings as hard as they possibly can so you can have those awesome dropping ham hocks for those 6 foot plus guys. Short gang down here, tall gang right here. Anyway, guys, without further ado, keep your eyes glued to the screen, your ears glued to the speakers. Let's learn some shit. Right, we had our isolated hamstring, and then we'll do a hip hinge.
As soon as we can do it on the...
You wanna do that machine there?
Yep.
4 hard sets of each.
Yep.
Hi everybody, welcome back to hamstrings. So we're starting off with lying hamstring curls. This is a obviously different machine. It's made to really, keep your hips in place. A little bit of deficit here for your elbows for resting. But again, when we're doing this, you want to make sure that we adjust our body accordingly to this machine. This machine is not made for absolutely everybody. So adjust yourself. So we got a tall guy in here. I'm short. So if I get in here, right, yeah, I want to make sure that my knees are on the end of this. I don't want my knees on. This is pretty basic, but for those of you out there who are new or beginners, you don't want your knees here. They need to be off this pad here. So then we can freely move with that joint, and then we want to keep our hips flush on this. We don't want our butt doing this stuff when we're pulling. So what we want to do is literally pretend you're trying to get deep with it. You're trying to get real deep in that. Sink them hips. Like you're trying to get real deep. Deep in the stretch and the contraction. Get your mind into the gutter. Anyways, go through the first set. Watch Taylor. I'm going to adjust Taylor while we're through. We're going to do 10 to 15 reps. We warm up though. I want speed on the way up.
See, the problem that I have already is the way this is positioned. It's already putting my hips up, so it's really hard to sit into the machine to keep things down. So I have to really focus on bracing my core, but even when I do that, it still pops my lower back.
Yeah, so great point he's making. If you see his femur, how long it is, he's all up all the way to the top of this. So we want to do our best, engage that core, engage those erectors, so we keep flush. Couple things, again, when we're doing this, we are active through here, right? This is what's gonna keep our hips in line. If this is loose, we're gonna push our hips back and do this stuff, right? We will hinge later. We're not hinging on this. We want hips to be forward so the glutes, so the hamstrings can pop up here. Do this for yourself at home, literally. Stand next to something, hold on to, just for balance. Keep your hips forward, take one knee and push it back. Don't let a knee come forward, right? Go like this. Push your knee back, hips forward, and then just pull your hamstring like this. And you'll feel your hamstring like literally on fire. If I do this, it becomes so much easier. So we're trying to really force this position while putting a load onto it. I don't want you to swing this weight up, and then when it ends up here, you start to hold it down here. I want you to hold it from here, total control of the contraction, right from the top and then down. So what I mean by when I say catch the contraction, a lot of times we have guys pulling the weight up, and then all of a sudden they catch it here, right? I want to pull it and all the way down, right? And then the bottom lift, I want to really stretch that. So let it hang. Stretch the contraction at the bottom, stretch that stretch, and then we're pull, control down, stretch, pull, right? All the way down. And you should feel that stretch right from the heel all the way straight up to the erectors. Everything's engaged, and then we're flinging legs up, catching the contraction all the way down. Pull. That's it. Long stretch. Pull hard, hard. There you go. Long stretch. Right, you don't have to do a bunch of movements. 1 to 3 exercises per muscle group is valid enough. Again, if you think about hamstrings, just like the bicep, it really does one thing. Not one thing, but knee flexion. How many more exercises do you need to do knee flexion, right? After this is done, well then you can do a hip hinge, and then after that you're basically overlapping movements. You can do 100% a hip and knee flexion, you do a squat movement, but then you're overlapping, right? So we're just isolating hamstrings. 1 to 3 exercises max. So we're on the next exercise. We just finished doing 4 hard sets of lying hamstring curls. Remember, we're doing minimal exercises to get maximum results for everything we're doing, right? So we're done here. We're gonna go to a hip hinge movement now. Again, 4 hard sets, 10 to 15 reps. If you fail at 8 reps, you're gonna rest pause as many times as you need to get the full 15 reps. So what that's gonna do is gonna push some of you guys past that mindset of, I only have 10 to 12 reps. I'm only gonna do that many. And if you get 10, that's it. No. We're gonna make the rep range, the lowest rep range, give you enough that the higher rep range, the max rep range, that you're gonna fail, and then you're gonna continue with rest pause, or I would say, like Dr. Mike would say, myo reps, Mr. Smarty Mike, Smarty Pants. So that's why we're doing that. Anyway, let's go. Barbell RDLs is up next. A lot of times we have people thinking that the lower you go means that you're actually doing RDL. It doesn't mean that, right? If you look at Taylor from the side. So Taylor's hips right now are here. Push your hips back. Now they're here, now they're here, now they're done. Any further than this and his back go further, now his back's just rolling, right? So his hips aren't turning over anymore. So what we want to do with RDLs is, the success of an RDL is a few things. It's the hips turning over, but we want to start this movement from the shins. So toes on the ground firm from here. The first movement is going to do is this entire part is going to shift first, and then hips, and then knees, and then coming back up, and then back the way it started. And then core obviously engaged to make sure that this stays strong. If your core isn't engaged, this part here is vulnerable, right? So pretend that dumb friend of yours is ready to punch you in the stomach at all times. So you're tight here. So if I'm down here, my boy's gonna be like, haha, sucker, and punch me in the stomach, I'm tight here. I want you to pretend you're trying to bend this bar over your thighs. So on the way down, we get a good bar pathway, meaning that bar is going directly in one path up and down. Come back up and squeeze through, right? If you find yourself bouncing on your heels, throw those toes in the ground. Really push those toes around so you don't go backwards. So what we want to do is we're going to ride the load that's going to be heavy enough that you can continue the reps with good form. Good. Hips back. Hips forward. Good. Hips back. There you go. Hips forward. Good. Ride it down. Stretch, stretch. Up. Good. So some other things you need to think about when you're this tall is where you're setting up the weight before you grab it and you put it back down. Because at the end of this lift, immediately says this is too low, right? Put out a weight where, look, this even for me is like, there's no point in me doing this to come all the way up here, then to step back and do my load. I should just feel lift it, walk back, and do my set. So we're gonna do just that. Now he can just walk up and step back, and there you go, right? So this is what I do with some of my athletes that aren't necessarily really understanding where the hips are going in this movement. Your body, you're lowering the weight by your hips going backwards. See how everything is going down by his butt going back, right? Don't think that you get halfway here and then just start bending down this way. It's not. So what I do is, I'll take this, and if you want to, you can put it, if you're by yourself, you can put on a dumbbell heavy enough or a kettlebell. But I'll sit back like this, make sure this is a little lower, so when he goes down, he's already feeling hips going back where they need to go. And then when he pushes through, he's got a little bit more resistance, so when he feels the weight going up, it's his hips going forward. Hips going forward, weight's going down, hips going back. Taylor doesn't really necessarily need it, but you know what? We gotta win a pro card this year, so. When you're doing RDLs, the success of the RDL is a hamstring movement that we're creating knee flexion to knee extension, right? So we want the hips to roll back while the hamstrings are getting tight, and they're getting tight, right? This is a glute and hamstring world, but hamstring are pulling in, right? Now they're tight, I have flexion here on my knee, and then on the way up, my knees straighten up, and then here. That's finished. Sometimes I see they go back down like this, and then we get this. The hips are back still, and the knees are bent. You are not done your rep. Your rep is done when you're locked out in a sense like this. So Everything's going back, bending back, tight stretch, coming up, knees are straight, hips go through. That's your rep. That's your full range of motion. Now, a good way you can do this too, sit like this on the ground, sit like this, straight, keep my toes pointed towards me. Now, I don't want to roll my back. I'm going to try and touch my toes without rolling my back, right? That is really, really tight. That's super tight. My hamstrings are tight. That's how you should feel at the bottom of your lift. You do not need to be in the gym for 4 or 5 hours a day. I must say, it's an exaggeration. You don't have to be in the gym for 2 hours. 1 to 3 exercises per muscle group. 8 to 12 hard sets a day, right? We've done 2 exercises. We're on our 8th hard set. After that, we can decide, is it necessary to do 4 more sets, right? If you get all the work done and you feel that you're done, you're spent, and you've done actual hard sets, leave. You don't have to just pick another random exercise because you think you have to do 4 exercises or you need to do X amount of sets. Science says 8 to 12 hard sets, 1 to 3 exercises per muscle group. So take that into account, write that down. First exercise, lying hamstring curls. Remember, we did 10 to 15 reps. If you pick a weight that's gonna make you fail, when you fail, rest pause until you hit the max amount of reps. If you have 4 sets of 10 to 15 reps, you get your working set. Your first working set, you only get 8, great. Rest pause until you get 15. So if you gotta take 2 rest pauses in that set to hit the max amount of reps, that's what you're doing. You're not gonna do 10 to 12 reps and then when you can't do more than 10, you're done. No, we're pushing it to make sure we get the maximum out of the lift. Then moving on to barbell RDLs, 4 straight sets of just 12 reps. Stretching at the bottom, we're not riding it down really slow, a really good moderate tempo down, just controlled tempo, and then squeezing up, and that's that. So we're gonna finish off with successive work. We're gonna superset adductors and abductors. You can do this at the beginning of the workout if you want to, or at the end, doesn't really matter where you put it. This is a hamstring focused day. We're just gonna finish off by just, doing some adductors, some abductors for the inside here, right? So just make it easy for you guys. Strengthening this part inside here is gonna help with a lot of things. Stability, athletic performance, strengthen any of your movements like deadlifts, sumo deadlifts, I don't know, jiu-jitsu if you gotta hold somebody and lock them out.
Bending over to pick up the groceries when you get old.
Yes, but you want to squat when you're doing that. Anyway, so we're gonna go back-to-back reps. We're only do 15 reps. We're gonna just basically open up. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I want. I'm not gonna show you the adductor because I hurt my groin. Thank you, Mike. But what we wanna do is, for adductors, please stop doing this. Right? Get those hips up, get them straight up, get to the edge of this. I want tension on this, right? You can go back to a couple of Mike Van Wyck's videos. He uses the word rock a lot, and he gets a lot of guys to kind of rock the weight a bit so you can feel the pressure from here right to here. A lot of you guys are trying to pull with this, and then I get this kind of weird gap here. I want this to start off where when I'm here, I'm pushing on this, that slight little movement from here, there's tightness, it's tense here, it's tight in my thigh. When I push from here, I should feel directly right here in my glute, right? So we want to be from here and open up and ride it in. Open up as far as you can go and ride it in. Don't do any of this stuff here, right? Keep your butt up, push out, open it wide, squeeze it in. Ride the contraction in. Go as far as you can and all the way in. Which brings to the next point, how much weight you're gonna use. You're not gonna stack this thing, it's not a competition. No one really cares how much you can adduct and adduct. Get rid of the ego in some of these lifts. Like, mostly all the lifts, but really. We're gonna add a weight that allows you to get to the maximum stretch or contraction every time. If it's too heavy, then you're gonna try to muscle it up. We don't want that. I want strict. This, and down. This, squeeze and down. 15 reps. We're gonna drop it in, open it up, 15 reps. Easy one for you guys. Adductor, ADD, you're gonna add the legs together. right? That's an easy way to kind of remember. Adduct. Abductor goes away. Abduct brings it in. Now when we're doing adductors, a massive cue for this is to engage your core. Engage your core in all these movements, but for this one, you are very vulnerable in this position. Don't just try to huck these in, right? Control your core, almost like you're doing a mini like leg lift. Feel your core engaging, pulling in. 5, that's it. 6, good. 7, good. 8, good. 9, that's it. Hey, didn't see you there. Nice to see you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video today. Hamstrings only with some adductors at the end. Again, what you guys can do, 4 hard sets of each. First movement, 10 to 15 reps with some mild reps or rest pause to finish the reps. And then doing some RDLs, 4 sets of 12 reps. Making sure, again, we're bringing those around 3 reps close to failure. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, and you guys try any of those cues, let me know in the comment section below. And guys, anyway guys, that's the video. Come on in, man, come here, sit down. Great workout today, guys. If you guys try this out, if you guys are tall like Taylor and you guys have issues finding movements or really understanding what to do with your long body, let us know in the comment section below. Let us know if you use any of these cues as well too. And guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. You know McCall, the tell like it is, transparent, vulnerable truth. For coaching guys, just like Taylor here, johnasheed.com. If you want to know more about my coaching guys, book yourself a 15 or 30-minute consult. At the end of the consult, I deduct it off any package that you pick. Also hit the description below for those discount codes and promo codes that'll save your life or change your life for the better. Like 10% off BlueStarNutraceuticals.com. Use my code, Johnny10. 10% off Blue Star Nutraceuticals. And guys, add my boy on Instagram and TikTok.
Yes.
Taylor Camo.
Yes.
That's it?
That's it.
Just straight up Taylor Camo,
Yep.
Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat?
No.
No? Just Instagram and TikTok. Add me on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. Send me your progress pics, your training pics, and your video clips, and I'll repost it for you. Because you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron. Progressive overload your life. In the meantime,
Keep dream chasing.
peace.